And here we are again on another long distance walk in Scotland, and this time we have the Great Glen Way, which follows this fault line here from Fort William all the way up to Inverness. It takes about 6 days to do all of that. As you can see here, it's about 117 kilometers, which is 73 miles if you prefer. Great Glen follows one of two faults across Scotland. The other one goes through Loch Ness, sort of here-ish. You can see that at the bottom of Loch Ness where the other fault line is. So yeah, pretty low walking, and there's a higher bit up there. But we start today in Fort William, which is a very famous town known for outdoor stuff. Ben Nevis in the background. And here we have the actual Fort William, created by Cromwellian troops, remade into stone about 50 years later. And yeah, that's the original fort for Fort William, here to suppress clan activity and for now kicking off walkers on their trek across the Highlands. Let's see how we get going on today. Here we are at Invermoriston, which isn't about that house, but it's actually about this castle. So this is a very old castle, I think 13th century, used by clans, and this was the site of 2 different battles. It's all stone now, but you know, it would have been a wooden bit in the middle with like a little meeting place in the middle. Doesn't look like you can go in it just now, but here you go, a castle. Going through the village of Coire, just northwest of Fort William. Quite a nice little playground we've got here. And at this point you can look back and look down Loch Linney, and somewhere over there it's Ben Nevis below the clouds. Loch Linney goes out over there as well. Yeah, leaving Fort William. This shipwreck here. I thought it's been far too long since we started talking about gorse. I know you worry about me when I don't talk about gorse. This is not gorse. This is Scotch broom. It looks a lot like it, but right next to it here you can see some gorse. So we can take some off right between your fingers. Oh, you smell that and it's like beautiful. It's like coconut and vanilla put together. So gorse good. Scotch broom, I don't know. It looks okay, but certainly doesn't have a wonderful taste. You could make into a nice beverage if you wanted to. And yeah, there's a riverboat behind it. Okay, just out of Coire, and we have Neptune's staircase. This is a series of locks which were designed so link up Inverness all the way to the Atlantic over here. I think 2/3 of it is already existing locks, as in the water ones rather than canal locks. And yeah, and Thomas Telford, it's a famous Scottish engineer, came along and over about 20 years I think, built this series of locks. I think it takes 90 minutes if you want to take your boat and keep going up here. So the idea is you go in here and then you raise the water level, and then your boat can keep going that way, or the opposite for going the other way. And it takes twice as long as the boat coming the other way for you. So watch out for that. Back along Neptune's staircase. I know you wanted more. I figure you get a pretty good view from here though. So you can sort of see how it goes up. And there's some water effect, yeah. Just gotta say, Thomas Telford, obviously a genius in making this, but also naming it Neptune's staircase. That is wonderful, right? So that's not just like the Fort William Canal Bridge or something. Neptune's staircase. Superb. So this is Moy Bridge. It's a bridge just for one person. It's for a farmer who lives over there, but he's got some fields over this side that he also does pasture on. So it's a swing bridge where it swings out, and so it's only possible to open it from one side. So he's got a little boat somewhere, so he can get back over and open it up again. There you go, swing bridge. And at the end of the day, make sure you abide by the speed limit. And just over there, we can see a lock closing, which is quite a nice way to end the day as well. Lots of towpath walk today, but lots of fun things to see on the way. Looking forward to see what we see tomorrow. Here we are. Let's start getting lucky, which is the end of the day. And yeah, time to put some feet in crystal clear water next to the lighthouse at the start of the journey. Yeah. Lovely and exceptionally cold water. That's the end today. So here we are on day 2. And compared to yesterday, we're nowhere near roads or anything, so all you can hear is nature, and that's one of the most fun bits about doing these trips. It's just yeah, just us. So we're about to come upon Achnacarry, which was the Commando training base from 1900 about after World War II. Which is where people would come to train. About 25,000 troops trained here on a sort of, beach landing from Loch. So I'm actually standing on what was a fixed point of a land-based one for people to train on before they went to the water. And yeah, there's so many lochs around here that, it's a good place to train. If you've been to Speed and Bridge, there's a Commando monument you can go see, representing, the people that came here to train. And yeah, this is where the people trained to land on the beaches in World War II at Normandy. This is where the people trained to do that. So standing on a replica here of where they used to train. So a lot of history in these parts. Originally was Clan Cameron, used to be near here. 3 clans came together to create Clan Cameron, and this was their base. And they actually had a house up in the hills here, so if your surname's Cameron, by all means come up here and you can check out House Cameron and see there's a museum about your history. So here we are in Bunna Crag, which is just around the corner from where I was, but more history on Commando stuff, which you can see on the panel here. Well, you can't, but I can. Yeah, so they used to run actual mock training drills where you go from this side of the loch to the other one once they've learned basic boatcraft of how to get across there. And they had to do a very precise plan to get across. And can't. Rare, but it happens. And yeah, and what had happened was they actually used real live ammunition on the other side to try and make it as good, as close as possible to real situations. And they say it's very spectacular. And the general that planned it here goes on to say that it was as close to battle conditions as they could get without actually slaughtering half the trainees. So fairly intense. So Loch Lochy 8 years ago might have been a more noisier place than it is in just a passing car. Just past Clunes, and we're in some ancient forestry here, which currently is all standing up. Gotta look out for some pine martens, secretive animal with a strong smell. I once stayed in a cottage and I was woken up by a farmer shooting one of them with a shotgun. And yeah, this is the last bit of what we're doing today. Going up to the Laggan locks, which is way up here. And you'll notice here we have to sort of zigzag back because they're building the Coire Glas project here. If you don't know Coire Glas, that's a new hydro scheme similar to Coire, which you've maybe seen in the Star Wars Andor TV show. Big hydroelectricity dam, makes about, I think, half a gigawatt. I think all of Scotland uses 3 gigawatts, so amazing project. Scale is going to be huge. So that's where we're going to go. Let's see if we can spot some pine moths. Oh no, we can't go this way. What's happening here? Well, I'll tell you. This is the site of the new Coire Glas hydroelectric dam, the first one being built in the UK in 30 years. Scotland, as of now, I just looked it up, 80% of our current electricity is made by renewables. About at least 2/3 of that is wind. If you live in Glasgow, Whiteleys Wind Farm is the biggest power station in all of Scotland, and you can probably see it. It does about, I think, half a gigawatt is how much it does, right? But renewables obviously are great. We are the windiest country in all Europe here in Scotland, so lots of wind, tiny bit of solar for when it is sunny. But yeah, not all that stuff is actually good enough for most of the times, but sometimes you can't get the power from there. So you need to have a source where you can turn on whenever you want and able to give things. So traditionally in Scotland now, the only ones we have left for this is nuclear, which is about 20% of our energy, and gas, which is about 5% of our energy, gas being a fossil fuel one that we would like to phase out. Right, so hydro, big water supply, right? Up the top of the hill, reservoir, big water. At the bottom of the hill, Loch Lochy, lots of water. Water we actually raised by 3 meters when we put the canal system in there. So the good thing about the hydro dam is that we can, at any time, you can pump water up with the excess energy. Whenever you want, you can just turn it on again. So we can have power when we need. So there's points where wind and solar doesn't work, we can use hydro instead. But for me, I'm gonna go up the path here. Take a second to remind us, why is the Great Glen Way? What's that Glen word mean? So a glen is kind of like a valley. You've probably heard of ravines, they're valleys with really steep sides on them, right? But a glen is one with gentle slopes either side of it. And these were caused by glaciers retreating about 20,000 years ago, because there's all glaciers here before then. So this lock is extremely deep. It's 162 meters deep down into that, because the glacier's gone all the way down and tore out all the rock that's down there. So that's why it's the Great Glen, because we're walking between a fault line that was just glaciers. And it's the end of day 2. We are here back to the canal again. Seeing back this way. There's a boat going up there. There is the boat reception there for services. But yeah, that's the end of Loch Lochy, so that's us done for today. Day 3. Today we go from Laggan to Fort Augustus, starting off next to the Caledonian Canal. This is supposed to be one of the prettiest parts of the route as you go past Loch Lochy. But, however, there is a 90% chance of rain for 4 hours, half an hour from now, so I will be significantly less dry next time you see me probably. For diversion, here is the River Garry, Invermoriston. Nice old bridge here with a reassuring sign saying, don't have more than 5 people at the same time. Let's go across. Don't fancy that. There we go, River Gary. Whoa! Oh jeez. Nice. 2 hours in and the threat of rain remains just that. But finally we are clearing where we can see part of the loch here, so here's more the upper part of Loch Oik, which is another calm loch, and no forestry stuff going on the other side there. Anyway, let's go this way. That's the top of Loch Oik. Moving over there towards the canal, going to Loch Ness, probably the most famous loch in Scotland. So bye bye loch number 2 and 3. So that one's just been opened. Now it's the same height as the canal there. Look at the difference. How different height the water is down there. So next time the guy closes the door there, all this water will go. It'll go to this level, boat elevator. Boom. Done. That's what they'll be enjoying soon. So on this rainy day, we finally get to Fort Augustus, which has a lot more people and lochs and boats and everything else I've seen on the route so far, so popular place to be. Fort Augustus and quite a lovely morning. I'm going to go on one of these cruises in a second. But let's consider why Fort Augustus? Why is this place sort of built up? Well, it turns out Queen Victoria did the Caledonia Canal right after it opened, and she said it's really good apart from the locks where you have to go through these little ship elevators. She said that was very tedious, and that is obviously a damning review. That's like, I don't know what star Queen Victoria is giving it. I'm probably gonna say 2 out of 5. So what they've done is, they've built up a little town, so you can go and buy tats and have a coffee and a little cup of tea while your boat goes through the elevators, so you can have fun while waiting for that. So that is why you find little towns around the major locks along the Caledonia Canal. So today we go from Fort Augustus to Invermoriston, which is one of the shortest routes on this. I'll be joined by Adrian and Anya, so probably less videos today because I'll be speaking to folks. But yeah, what's supposed to be a 90% chance of rain, and as you can see, very hard to predict what the weather's going to be like in the mountains. So, lovely day, enjoy it. Just one last look at the view from the hotel I was staying in. Absolutely glorious here, looking down Loch Ness. This is the Inch, and I would recommend it. Really good food. We leave Invermoriston, you see here a clog shop. Legitimately makes clogs. Says it's the last clog shop before Sky.
Are you happy for the season? Are you happy for someone else? Are you happy for no rhyme or reason? Or just happy with a merry sense? Are you happy to be blessed? Are you happy to
So with this bike path, you get to choose between doing a high route and a low route. So you can choose between seeing this thing or this thing. And that looks cooler. So I'm going to do a little bit of extra height before joining back on the path, rather than going next to 82, which is probably not as tranquil as the top of the hill. Once we go. It's really quite nice up here, lots of varied trees, and yeah, you can even start to see some of the hills behind as well, and some of the tussocky land there. But yeah, really nice trail to go up today. Definitely the hardest day so far until tomorrow comes.
Are you happy to be blessed? Are you happy to laugh with joy? But grief is just a board game, sadness another toy.
Here we go. Here's the view catcher. Made of Caledonian pine, the local stone. Its eye in the sky is to capture a stunning view. Yeah, quite a view that is. Might have to look up what Monroes are over there, but that's some big hills. Pretty. So here we are, highest point of the way. I think it's about 450 meters of ascent we've done, which is More about half in normal Monroe, but it's super steep today, not gonna lie. Pretty hard. Started down the valley, Invermoriston, between those two hills, but oof, as we do it for. Check the view. Loch Ness in all its glory. This is my stay tonight. It's just started raining as we get here, which is perfectly fine with me. It's a converted church, so let's see what this is like. Okay, so new Highland word today. This here with wool caught on the fence has a word, and the word is Sean. So if you see this anywhere, you have seen Sean. So halfway through, we have this sort of yurt thing, which is very nice and cool inside. Yeah, there's a place to have your dinner. The sign's broken, so you can make up stuff. So we'll say this is where Henry VIII lived in Scotland. This is his residence, and that's where he had his degrees. So this is where we had lunch. Extremely cool place, very quirky. Lots of signs on the way saying, come have cake. But I can guarantee you it's not a Hansel and Gretel story, it's just really nice cake. So, more Scots pine forest here, as I said before. Big trunks, some stuff on top, so a big sort of natural forest here for the Highlands. It's thinking, if I stay still they will see me. This is River Ness? Alright, River Ness here. Very beautiful, and there's a bunch of islands in the middle which then connect to the other side. They're in the middle of the sea here. They got a little forest. A lovely ridge. So, we have finished. Here is Inverness Castle. There's a very pretty bridge and everything. The whole thing's pretty actually. Though under construction in quite a lot of parts, but that is the end of the Great Glen Way. Thank you.